The voice of a new generation.
We pull back, no punches.
Fight predictions, news, and results.
And we gonna get straight into it. Like we didn't get to do a show last week to break down the Pavlik Hopkins fight, but we had talked about it before, previously on the show, correct?
That's correct.
And we both stated that
Hopkins was gonna win.
And boy, did he win! All of you guys, we got hate mail for days on that one. Oh, you don't know nothing about boxing. Both of you are dirtbags. You don't know this. You don't know that. Hopkins is old. Hopkins can't do this. Didn't you see Calzaghe beat up on Hopkins? I mean, the list went on and on and on about why Hopkins
let's be
was
real.
going to lose.
Let's be real. Like, you know, we said it before, the styles makes fights. I mean, it's one of those cliches in boxing. It's just the way it is. And we knew from the get-go that, I mean, I don't see why people didn't foresee what happened. It's just, you know, to me, it's
people were romanticizing.
They were romanticizing with Pavlik, you know, being a great white guy, and you know he was out there, but he was destroying. I'm not taking anything away from Pavlik. He was destroying what he needed to destroy. But the style, the clashes that we were going to see in this fight, you know, we could just foresee what was going to happen because it already happened already. Hopkins did a repeat of what he did at Trinidad. I mean, same style, coming forward, power punching. The only difference is
Pavlik is slower than Trinidad. So that's what we had based our whole assessment on. If you would have seen the Bernard Hopkins versus Tito Trinidad when that fight took place, it was the same thing except Bernard Hopkins, you know, Trinidad was a little faster at the time.
That's it.
Right now, you know, Pavlik is a little bit slower. He's probably got a little bit more pop in him. Yeah, but he's slower than Trinidad. So Hopkins was able to just do what he wanted at will. And he showed you guys that it doesn't matter what age you are. If you can fight, you can fight.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
So there goes the results for that. Going into the upcoming fights, we got Mijares versus Darchinyan.
You know, I think this is a very excellent fight, but I think it's too much. I think Vic Darchinyan is biting a little bit more than he can chew. Honestly, Mijares, you know, he took out Arce. You know, he's in a higher weight class than Darchinyan. Darchinyan's coming up in that weight, and Darchinyan only has that one punch. And Mijares he's a technical boxer. He's not going to stand in front of him.
He's well-rounded.
He's well-rounded. He's a well-rounded, and he's got power too. I think Mijares takes this fight.
I'm going to have to agree. If Darchinyan goes in there to fight, like which is customary of him,
that's what he did. He comes forward, he throws that one punch to the left.
Then Mijares is going to dissect him, I think, in 12 rounds. And so look at Mijares to pull out either a late KO or a decision.
Definitely.
Next one, our boy Randall Bailey versus to be announced.
The ever dangerous to be announced.
The ever dangerous to be announced. Randall Bailey trying to make a strong comeback. He's getting his fights. It looks like every 2 to 3 months he's been fighting.
At 140, you can't go wrong with that.
And I still think he is a dangerous fighter at 140.
Definitely.
You know, a lot of people writing him off, but watch out for Randall Bailey. He's got a lot to prove. We've got also Daniel Ponce de Leon making a comeback from his knockout loss
to Juan Lopez. But you know what? When you fight Daniel Ponce de Leon, there is no to be dangerous. The ever dangerous to be announced. That ain't gonna happen. Daniel Ponce de Leon is probably gonna do what Lopez did to him. In one round, he's gonna decimate his next opponent.
Exactly. He's coming out to confidence rebuilder. Put himself back on the map, so you guys he ain't damaged goods.
He ain't damaged goods. He's gonna let everybody know that he's back on the scene.
Exactly. Next fight, Mikhail Kessler versus Danilo Hausler.
You know, I know what's going on with Mikhail Kessler. I mean, I know he took a nasty fight, but he hasn't really been too active lately. You know, I really want to see this kid if he still got what he has. I mean, before that
technically, he was a sound fighter. He, sets everything up with the jab, but I mean, after the whole Calzaghe fight, it's been, he's kind of died out. Yeah. Or maybe it was the people were hyping him up to be the next best thing, and once Calzaghe beat him, it was a wrap for him. Either way, we're gonna find out. I mean, this should be a pretty good fight.
We're gonna go with Kessler either way.
Going with Kessler on this one, but it should be a good fight. Julio Diaz versus Fernando Trejo.
You know, I think Julio Diaz takes this fight. He's a technically sound boxer as well. I mean, he does his thing, and he's still trying to make some noise at 135.
Exactly. Diaz brothers, you can never count them out. Always in the mix. News. We've got a couple. We got 3 things that we're gonna talk about, and then we got one big news.
All right, go ahead. Run with it.
First of all, we got Paul Williams. My boy Paul Williams is saying he wants to be the 3 division champ. He wants to conquer 147, 154, and 160 all at the same time. What do you think about that knowledge?
Well, I think he's got the capabilities of definitely doing so. I mean, if he could fluctuate all that weight and it's not dangerous to him and he could actually do that, that's fine, man. I encourage that. But you know what? I mean, to me, you gotta be able to dominate one division before you start trying to talk about conquering all. But at the same time, man, if he does that, then what?
If he does that, I'll tell you what. He is pound for pound the best. He can legitimately say, I am pound for pound the best. Nobody wants to fight me at 147, so I still got that belt. I went up to 154, decimated that weight class. I'm the champ there. I go to 160, win there. You can't say he's not the best. You can't argue. He makes his case and point. You can't argue him. You can't deny the man that if he can accomplish that now. There's going to be some obstacles in his way, obviously.
Tough obstacles.
You know what I'm saying? At 154, you got Martinez and you've got Vernon Forrest and Santos. All can pose a threat to him. You got at 160, you've got
Pavlik.
You got Pavlik and you got Abrams.
And Arthur Abraham is not no joke. I mean, I think he's the real deal too.
So you definitely got your real opponents in these
that's what comes into my mind. My mind is he gonna fight the legitimate champions in each division, or is he just gonna fight just the guys that gets a belt to get a belt?
Well, I mean, eventually he's got to fight the guys though. Yeah. Even if he gets the belt to get the belt, he's gonna have to fight the guy eventually.
And I respect it if he definitely goes up against the top guys. And if he wins against the top guys, there's no denying him that.
Oh no, there's no denying him. I put him straight in #1 pound for pound over everybody, and whoever wants to cry about it, they can.
And I'll be honest, this guy right here never rolls with Williams.
And I don't roll with Williams, but just the fact that he's talking like a champ. He's saying, yo, I want 147, I want 154, and 160.
Much respect.
You gotta respect that. Personally, I don't care too much for him. And I don't like his style of fighting. But if he says, yo, this is what I'm gonna do, and he makes it happen, he's got my respect, and I can't deny him anything.
Nothing.
Moving on to the next one. B-Hop, after his impressive win, of course, he says, I got one fight left in me, and it's against Roy Jones Jr. Now, that's what you think about that.
I think it's an exciting fight. I've always wanted to see part 2 on this fight. But, I think right now B-Hop is, he's looking better at his old age than Roy Jones in his old age.
Definitely.
So I want to see what Jones brings out in the Calzaghe fight. And if he, if he gets by Calzaghe and he actually defeats Calzaghe, that's going to be a very tough one to call. Very tough. Because Calzaghe beat B-Hop.
It's going to be a tough one to call. But I'm thinking, man, right now, Hopkins is just on top of his game. I mean, losing to Calzaghe is not a bad thing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You can't say, oh, he lost to Calzaghe, that's garbage. No. He
just beat this young lion and he beat
Pavlik. The list goes on with this guy. He beats him and he's old.
Definitely B-Hop, one of the greats. I can't deny him that.
B-Hop, one of the greatest of all time.
You don't have to do Roy Jones Jr. too, but if you do, I still respect you. It don't matter. I think you're going down as one of the greats regardless.
He done sealed his legacy. It's
definitely.
a wrap. It's a wrap, bro. With
last Saturday,
I had said it was a wrap before,
but even more so
now. But now it's a wrap. It doesn't even matter. I mean, he could lose to Roy in the first round. I still consider him one of the greatest of all time.
I
mean, B-Hop has cemented his legacy. He said that's what he said always he wanted to do. He said he wants to go down right now is for legacy. Hey, you got the legacy.
You got it, baby.
Got it.
You got the money. You got the legacy. All you got to do is walk away.
And the last
whenever
news,
you want to.
Calzaghe laughs at Pavlik, but denies B-Hop a rematch. What do you think about that? Everybody was saying, oh, Calzaghe, you're ducking Pavlik. Da-da-da-da-da, Pavlik is going to get you, da-da-da-da. And he always say, oh, he's overhyped. He's overhyped. You guys are making him out to be bigger than he is. Is he bigger than he is?
I think he had legitimacy in saying that, but at the same time, you could never, how we always say, you can't, just because you beat the man and that man is always going to be, you can never say that in boxing. Boxing is just that's the beauty of the sport. I mean, anything can happen in the sport, and, I don't think Joe Calzaghe should laugh at anybody. I mean, I think, I respect Joe Calzaghe no matter what, but boxing's not laughing matter. It's a game of pain, and anything happens in this game.
Look, I kind of agree with Calzaghe because a lot of people were giving him a lot of slack, saying, "Oh, you're ducking Pavlik, you're ducking Pavlik." But I mean, what was there to duck really? I mean, it was a guy coming up from 160 to fight, at a bigger weight class. where Calzaghe has dominated for the last 10 years.
But you know how they always overhype fighters, and I'm not saying that Pavlik's overhyped because I think he's the real dude. I think I agree. He's a tough guy. There's no doubt about it. There's no denying that.
But was he a little overhyped to fight Calzaghe?
I think it was way too early.
Were people making it a bigger deal than what it should have been?
I think so, and I think that's where Calzaghe definitely throws his comments at. But I mean, you know, we didn't know what the Pavlik machine was gonna have. We didn't know. I mean, we knew what was going to happen with Hopkins. But, I mean, most people, even what we said, I mean, it could have gone either way in that Saturday's fight. You know, and we never knew the potential of this kid, and we never had unanswered questions. And Saturday, some questions got answered. So, in the time frame that it was all being said, the Calzaghe, yeah, I believe that there was a lot of hype, but there was legitimacy to the hype because this guy was just steamrolling everybody. I mean, when he defeated the UK guy, Lockett, man, he decimated him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he made him look like he was straight trash.
Garbage. I mean, and this man just walked through him and did everything, I mean, at will. So, I mean, I think they had legitimacy of saying that Pavlik could have done something, but because there was nothing to base it on. There was no denying Pavlik. He was undefeated. He had almost all his wins by knockout. So, yeah, I don't want to say they overhyped him because he was a good guy, too, at the same time. I think there was a little bit of legitimacy to it. And not legitimacy to it. It goes against each other, you know what I'm saying?
Now, and what do you think about Calzaghe saying, you know, that after Roy Jones, I'm done with boxing?
You know, he wants to walk away with in grace. You know, and he did the Hopkins thing. I mean, there's nothing, I mean, does he want to do that match? I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to call the man, I'm not going to, you know, put him down for not wanting that rematch. Maybe he might want the rematch after the fact. You know, but if he defeats Roy Jones, okay, and walks away with grace, undefeated, he's taking on the best. He's taking on the best. Coming up, he took on some big names. And now, at the end of his road, he's taking on the biggest names. I gotta respect that. I can't deny him that at all. And if he wants to walk away undefeated, hey.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. If he doesn't want to fight B-Hop, he doesn't need it. In this state in his career, he doesn't need a rematch with B-Hop. I would like to see him continue fighting. Definitely. I wouldn't mind seeing the B-Hop rematch. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Dawson. I think that would be a great fight in the future. But we have to respect his wishes. You know, Calzaghe says, you know, this is it for me. This is it, you know. Congratulations. Don't do the whole, I'm coming back, I'm not coming back. I'm coming back, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, that's been a trendy thing lately. And, you know, back in the days, I think when boxers say, hey, I'm leaving. I mean, there was, you know, Leonard. He had to leave because of his eye, you know, but he came back because of that reason. He came back for another fight. But I mean, in the days when the fighter said, I'm retired, that's it. You know, don't play with us. You know, you're playing with my emotions when you're doing that.
Yeah. So that covers that much of the news. The big news that we have for today.
What's that?
Is my boy Knowledge is going to DC. So you guys in DC, take care of my boy Knowledge. We're not stopping the show, by all means. We're still making it happen. You still catch us. We might not be on every week or every 2 weeks, but maybe we'll try to do at least one
a monthly show.
Once a show monthly. Knowledge is gonna be up there. My boy Gary Digital, take care of him. I know you up there. Take care of Knowledge up there in DC. Y'all can be the pound for pound north, and I'll be the pound for pound south. I get the guru. And we'll keep the shows coming, so don't worry about that. We're not stopping the show. The show's gonna keep coming. But again, anybody in DC, holla at my boy Knowledge. Take care of him. Show him the ropes. Show him DC. Show him where some girls at. You know,
that's what's up.
Hook him up. If you're a honey, and you watching the show, hey, look at this sexy beast. Hook him up. Hook it up.
That's what's up.
But anyways, you know, I know probably some of you shows are out there like, yes, they're finally leaving. We ain't going nowhere, homie.
We ain't going nowhere.
You can dream. You can think we're about to go somewhere. We ain't stopping. Just so you know, for y'all haters. Cause there's some couple haters. Let me get something off my chest. I can't remember this knucklehead's name, but there's this knucklehead that just left a message talking about, oh, you guys don't know nothing about boxing, this and that. And this was the same knucklehead that a month ago sent me an email talking about, oh my God, you guys are the greatest. I would love to have that poster of Oscar De La Hoya versus Mayweather. Come on now, you can't be a nut hugger, a swinger, and then all of a sudden, because we don't oblige with your request, now you're gonna hate us and talk all this trash about us. Man, quit with that
Hey,
nonsense.
man, that's Cat Williams said.
Hey, that's right. Like Cat Williams says, if you got 5 haters or 10 haters, you need to work on 30.
We're working on.
So we're working on 30, and I know there's a lot of you haters out there. Oh, they're gonna finally finish. Hey, hooray! Man, we ain't going nowhere.
We're going nowhere, homie.
We be right here. You will
Keep
still
it
be
alive.
catching
That's
the
all.
round by rounds. You will still be catching us talking smack. You will still be catching him. Now he's gonna be up in DC. Lamont Peterson, Anthony Peterson. I know y'all watching the show. Hit up Knowledge. I'm gonna still be hitting them people down here in the South. We still gonna make it happen, so don't worry about it. We're gonna be here. If y'all keep watching, we'll keep making it.
What's up?
And that's it. This is Pound for Pound Boxing.
The voice of a new
Where
generation.
we pull back, no punches.